It's the Thursday Morning House Call with Dr. Lane Aiena. Brought to you by Huntsville Memorial Hospital.
Good morning, everyone. Big Len with you in studio with me, Dr. Lane Aiena. Good morning, Dr. Lane.
Good morning. How you doing today?
Boy, I tell you what, the weekend is almost here.
I'm telling you, and boy, it's been a week. It's been a week, so it's going to be a good weekend for everybody.
Yeah, but it's been a stressful week for both of us. We know that.
It has been, and April is Stress Awareness Month, so I thought, hey, how appropriate. Lately, we've known stress in spades.
We've got our own month.
Our own month dedicated just to how we're feeling right now. Thanks to whoever names the awareness months. So right. I thought, we've talked about stress here and there. I couldn't remember if we'd done a dedicated stress show, certainly not from a medical perspective and its medical effects. So let's dive in. So with stress, we always think about it's just this mental feeling. I feel stressed. I feel this heaviness. But there are actually some medical effects that chronic stress can have. Chronic stress can lead to high blood pressure, which can lead to heart disease risk. Obviously, chronic stress can lead to anxiety and depression. I think a lot of people know that one. Sleep problems. I don't know about you, but when I'm stressed out, sleep is hard to come by. And then weight gain and metabolic issues. Now, especially in folks like me that, I struggle with stress eating anyway. So if you are stressed, kind of where I'm coming from with the stress eating. Why does this happen, though? How can something that's not physically there, right, not physically touching us, affect our health in such physical ways? Well, it activates our fight or flight response. I think all of us have heard of the stress hormones, cortisol, and believe it or not, adrenaline. That is another stress hormone. Our bodies are designed to use those in short bursts. Oh, shoot, there's a tiger chasing me. So it's good to have some cortisol and adrenaline for a short amount of time. The tiger chase is going to be over quickly one way or another. But nowadays, we have a different kind of stress. We have this chronic stress that just stays and weighs on us. And we're really not designed for cortisol to be in our systems for this long with this new modern life we have. So how can we do that? We can't always control the external factors, but how can we approach stress differently? Exercise is such a big way to do it. And sometimes this is a do as I say, not as I do thing. I know it's difficult for me when I get really stressed, but you got to push against what your body's telling you to do. Because when I'm really stressed, the last thing I want to do is go for a walk. But the most important thing I could do is go for a walk. And the same goes for you. You've got to go for that walk. 20 to 30 minutes. You don't need to be pounding pavement. You don't need to be sprinting. Go for a walk. Outside is even better. The weather's nice right now. Go take advantage of that. Pop in your headphones, listen to your favorite podcast, radio show, download the Lake or the KSAM apps and listen to us. Why not? Anywhere you get your apps, there's a good plug for you. Next thing is to protect your sleep. Sleep is so important and it can be so difficult when you're stressed, but it becomes a cycle. I'm not stressed, so I'm not sleeping. Well, I'm not sleeping, so I'm getting higher levels of cortisol, which is making me stressed, which is making me not sleep. And if you look at it from our body's standpoint, if you're in a chronic anxiety, it makes sense not to sleep. You're at your most vulnerable when you sleep. If I'm giving my body the signal that there's a tiger chasing me, it's not going to let me sleep. And it's going to wake me up at 3 a.m. and say, hey, yo, there's a tiger. So it makes sense, but we have to try to work around that to get that sleep, to start breaking that cycle. The next one's a big one for me, almost to a fault at times. I really do better when I'm in control of a situation. And when something really stressful happens, I'll have a moment of stress, pity party, what am I going to do? And then for me to rise above, so to speak, I need to take control of the situation. And folks, I encourage you to try to do the same. We can't control everything, but make Post-it notes. Make a list. You and I were, before we turned the mics on, we were talking about the lists of things we have to do. That helps me feel in control. Most weekends, I go into the weekend with a list of things that I want to get done, and I'll cross them off. That makes me feel so much better than just this nebulous, I have a lot to do in my head. When I am happening to life, life isn't just happening to me. I feel a lot more in control, and that really helps me to control my stress. And I encourage you to do the same. Try that. See if it helps. There's a lot of calm down techniques. We don't have time to get into the breathing techniques, but you can look them up online. There's a million YouTube videos on good breathing techniques, deep in, deep out. That helps to calm you. And then importantly, talk to somebody. Talk to a friend, talk to a family member, talk to a clergy member, talk to your doctor. We can help you. If it gets bad enough, there are medications we can use to help you address this. There's medicines if it does become something like maybe this is a long-standing anxiety, maybe this is leading to depression. We don't want you to suffer, and there are tools in our toolbox. Even if you don't want medicine, come talk to me. Maybe there's other strategies we can use. Maybe there's other things we can talk about. I understand not wanting to jump on the medicine immediately. I get it. But come talk to me. That's what we're here for. So, folks, stress is everywhere. This is a stressful time in the world right now. I think all of us are under quite a bit of stress for one reason or another. But there are ways that we can try to control what we can, right? That way, the stress isn't controlling you. It's not controlling your health. And you are staying happy and healthy.
Wow, great advice. What a great episode this week. So that's this week's edition of the Thursday Morning House Call, brought to you by Huntsville Memorial Hospital.
Let's keep Huntsville healthy.